We're trying to make a video about our dogs, but they enjoy playing with each other too much, and so we can't get started.
It's, it makes it's a little distracting.
It's so cute they are. They're so cute together. They love playing.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Kitchen and Jorn show. That's Kitchen, I'm Jorn, and today it's a very special episode. You might be wondering, why is this happening in front of us?
Happening?
So we thought, oh my god.
We thought we're like these two dogs.
Yeah.
Whenever we get together, we're just like, hey!
Today's an episode where we thought we'd introduce you to the dogs of the Kitchen and Jorn cinematic universe.
Yes.
The KJCU.
We're gonna talk today about our dogs, Betty
And Dustin!
Dustin! First, we should talk about Honey Bear. So we obviously did a video last year on our rescue Shar-Pei Honey Bear. Literally, I wanna say like a few days after we shot that video, Honey Bear was diagnosed with cancer.
And she passed away, which was very traumatic and difficult for Kristin and Bree.
Yeah.
And also it was tough because we had made a video about Honey Bear.
We're trying
to calm the situation.
We're trying to talk about something very serious, and the dogs are just like, I don't give a shit. So Honey Bear was diagnosed with cancer, with melanoma shortly after that video. We fought hard to keep her alive.
You did.
We
Bree and Kristin basically exercised every option to keep the dog comfortable and to
We spent so much money trying to keep that dog alive because at the time, for most of her time when she had cancer, she was still like the same dog. And so we were like, well, let's put forth our resources to keep this dog alive. Towards, I would say July, about the middle of July of last year, she took a really sudden turn, and then we took her to the dog ER and she had cancer of the stomach, which, in case you don't know, cancer of the stomach is like, it's...
The prognosis is really not good.
Very bad.
And Honey Bear, unfortunately, was an elderly dog.
Yeah, so we had to put Honey Bear to sleep. It was sad because we really fought to keep her alive, and we really were like,
you loved her. They adored her.
Yeah, we were devastated.
It was also tough because the video had gone out. A lot of people in our audience were like, what's up with Honey Bear? What's going on with Honey Bear? And that was pretty painful for Kristin.
Yeah, because I talked about it on Twitter and on Instagram, but not everyone follows me on Twitter and Instagram.
And we didn't announce it on our channel because would have been, it just felt way too sad.
Yeah, so we kind of didn't talk about it. And so now it's like, oh, we should probably address the fact that Honey Bear is passed. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
She passed about a year ago. And then right after we started fostering new dogs. Here's time for Kristin's Rescue PSA.
Yeah, and this is also Betty's origin story. So
yes.
It's a fun little combo.
I'm public service announcement, Barbie. Just like, would you like to
You are wearing pink.
I am wearing
Guys, all right.
Guys, these dogs love each other too much. Ah!
No biting.
Have you thought about getting a dog, but you're like, uh-oh, I don't want to just like get a dog from a shelter. What if I don't mesh with the dog? Or you're like, the process for getting a rescue dog is so complicated. Well, let me tell you something. There are so many dogs in shelters right now. Shelters are overrun. It's actually a huge problem. If you are worried about getting the right match, the thing you can do is foster a dog. Fostering a dog is a way to ethically try out a dog. Because if the dog isn't a good fit, you just, exchange the dog back with a rescue. The dog will be safe. It will go to its owners where it's a good fit. And like every rescue in America needs fosters. If you're like, I don't think my rescue needs fosters, wrong. Every single rescue needs fosters. Be a foster.
So this is like late summer of last year.
Late summer of last year, we decided to start auditioning new dogs for our house.
For our production of Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's an all-dog production of Godspell.
That's Jesus!
And we fostered a couple of dogs. The rescue that we were working with showed us Betty, and I knew instantly that Betty was the dog for us, like from that one reel.
In that video, she was just like, didn't she look just so happy?
She was so happy. She was behind a cage. She clearly had been like roughed up by other dogs. She just wanted someone to love. I showed Bree this reel of Betty, and Bree famously was like,
not that into it.
I don't get it. I will never let. Bree loves this dog.
Yeah, Bree adores
this dog. But she was like, I don't get it. And I was like, you will. You don't see the magic. After like some weird little back and forths, we got Betty September of last year, September 1st. We started fostering her, and we kind of knew instantly she was our dog.
She's really gentle.
She's gentle. She's playful. Everyone loves her.
I mean, she loves people. She loves animals. She just really just loves other people that are alive.
So Betty is a bigger dog, but she has what's called a gentle, dainty play style, which is an actual technical term, which is why she plays so well with little dogs.
Yeah.
She's like
loves toys.
She's in hog heaven right now because she's getting to,
that was a motorcycle.
I love how
Well, the dogs were all like, what the f***
and also
that?
me, we were like, what the f*** was that? She's a pit bull. She's a little bit of American bulldog in her, though. She's 1/4 American bulldog.
Because Kristin did like the...
I did an Embark test.
Like the DNA dog
This
testing.
isn't sponsored by Embark, but I did an Embark test. I want to see what kind of dog she was. She's a pit bull. Which also, another PSA from PSA Barbie. Do you live in the state of California? And this might apply to other states, but I don't know the laws.
We live in this state.
We live in the state. If you want to adopt a pit bull, but your landlord is saying, no, I won't let you have a pit bull, I have a loophole for you. In the state of California, no landlord can discriminate against an emotional support animal. Get a letter from your psychiatrist attesting that your pit bull is an emotional support animal, and they legally cannot bar you from adopting the dog. Now, if your dog, is not like, is actually dangerous, like, yeah, you're in trouble, and also that's a different situation. But it's a way to get around breed-specific legislation, because breed-specific legislation is hurting pit bulls. I mean, look at this dog. Do you really think this dog deserves to not have a home? She has a rainbow bandana.
She's gay. So Dustin is my dog, Betty is Kristin and her wife Bree's dog. Dustin and Betty had been introduced previously.
Dustin and Betty are trying to play, but her version of playing is grab my toy, and his version of playing is chase me!
They're just two bottoms. I'm gonna find this fly. Where is it? I'm gonna kill it with this vacuum. Where is it? Where'd the fly go?
Kristin trying to kill the flies. It's going in the dog video.
We observed them when we introduced them. Like Betty and Dustin, we know get along, which is why we felt comfortable filming this video. This is not their first time
This is
meeting.
obviously not their first meeting.
Yeah.
Like, these are two dogs that clearly know each other.
These dogs are friends. I remember when you and Bree brought Betty home, and it felt very natural. Like,
Yeah.
she's just a really sweet, happy dog. People in videos, like, would notice that, occasionally we'd mention the dog, and we were talking about Betty, And so I think it's nice that we have this space where we can just sort of, like, introduce Betty,
Yes.
let people know that she's here, why she's here.
Why she's here.
Why she's here, to be a delight.
She's here to solve mysteries.
She's here to be an absolute joy, and also to solve mysteries.
Also, another fun thing, Sir Patrick Stewart is on the board of the rescue that I got Betty from. So I have video of Betty playing tug with Sir Patrick Stewart. Anyway, that's the story of Betty. And then we've had her for almost a year now. I can't stress enough how much that I think pit bulls are incredible dogs. So smart and so loving. This dog came to us house trained, doesn't bark, doesn't have separation anxiety. She knows what her toys are and she only eats those. I think one of them farted.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the story of Baby.
Let's talk about Dustin.
Dustin. Let's go, Dustin.
Oh my Dustin. Oh, that's my little song for him.
It was actually originally a song for me.
Yeah, actually, I used to, at my old job, I used to sing to Kristin. Boom, boom, Kristin. Let's go, Kristin. Oh my Kristin. Now I sing it to the dog. So, Dustin, the little blondie. That's my dog. He is also a rescue dog. He's from one of the LA County shelters. And the story of how I got him is a little bit abrupt. About a month and a half ago, I was at Kristin's. I was scrolling Instagram, and one of the dog accounts I follow posted a bunch of photos of these really adorable terrier-type dogs that were at a local shelter in California. All the dogs that were posted were dogs that had been selected for euthanasia within the upcoming week. I was very emotionally affected by those posts of those dogs. So basically, like, I saw those posts, and I turned to Kristin, and I was like, I think I'm gonna get a dog!
I felt that it was time for you to get a dog. I felt that a dog would be really good for your well-being.
Yeah. And Kristin was like, well, hold on, like, what about going through, like, a rescue? Because then you can foster these dogs and, like, see if you can, like, get him pulled by a rescue, and then you can foster him and see how it works. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. A couple of days passed, and the dog that I originally had been interested in got adopted. I was, like, really happy that he was safe and out of the shelter and in a happy home.
But, like, you wanted...
I was like, wow, I got really attached to the idea of getting a dog. So on Monday, I went to the website for, like, LA County shelters. I love, like, terriers. I grew up with a Wheaton Terrier. I love all square, fuzzy-faced dogs. And so I did a search for terrier mixes, and I got a bunch of listings for dogs that were in local shelters. And there was a listing for this little blonde, fuzzy, scruffy thing. His name at that point was Danny. He was 1 year old. The photo of him was really cute. He was so cute.
He was a little fuzzy guy.
I drive to the shelter the next day, Tuesday. I don't tell anyone I'm doing this because I was sort of like, this is crazy. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm so wild. And I was like, maybe like somebody will try to talk me out of it, or like, I don't know. It's like, I'm 30, I have a good life. I can have a dog, but I was nervous.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not very impulsive, and this was. You know, I talked to the employees. They brought me in the back so I could meet him. And like, if you've ever been to like an animal shelter, they're pretty stressful and they're pretty sad because a lot of the dogs are very stressed out. And they bring me to Dustin's kennel, and he was just really happy. Like, he like ran over to the kennel door and was like wagging his tail.
I don't know about any of this.
Yeah, I didn't tell anyone.
This is all happening without my knowledge.
Yeah.
Jen doesn't need my permission, but Jen tells me
I tell her everything. I tell
Everything.
Kristin pretty much everything.
and not just everything the second it happens.
Yeah. The employee at the shelter was telling me, she was like, yeah, so he's been here for about 2 months. He came in as a stray, and she was like, he's a really nice dog. We're surprised he hasn't been adopted, but he has some lingering like health issues that the shelter is treating him for, and that's why he hasn't been adopted. And I was like, oh, what are the issues? And she was like, well, you notice he's got bald spots? Yeah, he's got mange, pretty bad ear infections.
None of these things are contagious, by the way.
Yeah, these are also, he's been healed from them.
He's healed.
So this
is they're so cute together.
The shelter was basically like, if you adopt him, we recommend taking him to the vet so that you can get a continuation of his treatments like right away. I was like a little bit anxious about that, but basically like I just looked at his face and I was like, oh, The reason why people are a little bit anxious about adopting dogs with health issues is because it's more expensive right off the bat. You know, because I knew, okay, well, a vet visit is going to be pretty pricey, especially since I knew what medications the shelter needed him to be on.
If you guys hear that sound in the background, Betty is panting a little loud, and that's...
Yeah, if you hear heavy breathing in this video, it's probably a dog.
Thank you for sleeping just in time for us to finish telling your origin stories.
Yeah,
that was really convenient.
So good.
I loved that.
I love how you have no thoughts. The joke with Dustin is that what's going on in his head is just Dustin. Let's calm down, guys. All right.
Are we doing too much?
So anyway, the lady at the shelter told me that Dustin would have some health issues. You know, I kind of was just like, he's got to come home with me. Like, I just felt that deeply. And I should point out, you guys see he's like pretty short-haired right now. Yeah, not only did he have health problems coming out of the shelter, I adopted that dog and took him to the vet right away. And that's when I sort of got like closer looks at him. And oh boy, not only did he have health issues, he was stanky. So because he'd been a stray, his coat was in really bad condition. It was super matted. He had like dirt and leaves like embedded into his fur. He had like diarrhea all up and down his He just smelled rank.
Yeah, he was a rank dog.
He was very, very.
He was a rank dog. You got it, and then you kind of got him shaved, and now he can kind of grow back into a gentleman.
Yeah, I took him to a groomer, and they were basically like, yeah, like we have to start over with his coat. Like
we have to start over.
We have to shave him and let him let his fur grow back healthy. And also because he'd had mange, he'd had some hair loss anyway. And then I took him home.
I want to stress, you did a great thing though. You went to a shelter, you saved a dog, you made more space for other dogs. And like, I'm very like, I will only foster with a rescue. But like, you can also just go to a shelter and get a dog.
Yeah.
Because there are so many great dogs. Like, this dog was just in the shelter waiting.
Yeah. I mean, he's an amazing, like, here's the thing about Dustin though, is like,
he's house trained.
Yeah, so Dustin was house trained. He really liked people, he really liked toys, he was really sweet. He slept through the night. He wasn't destructive. And yeah, basically like I panicked for a couple of days and I showed up to Kristin's the day after getting him and I was like, surprise, I got a dog, don't be mad.
And I was like, why would I be mad?
I was like, I don't know.
I was like, you rescued a dog? That makes me really, I'm a big proponent of animal rescue. I was like, you rescued a dog? Like, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, that's so exciting.
Yeah, I got really lucky with Dustin and like, I'm so happy about that. My thing was, if Dustin had turned out to have like big behavioral issues, I was committed to keeping him and working with him, but that like risk of like not knowing, you know, what his deal was is something that could have been alleviated if I had taken more time and fostered through a rescue. Yeah. I also like had been like just kind of going through a rough time mentally and I don't know, the dog came at the perfect time. Check out your local shelter and yeah, we just wanted to give you the update, talk about our stories with our animals.
Can I show you something cool Betty can do?
Yeah, and now we'll end it with something cool Betty can do.
Hold on, so here's something, okay, Betty can catch a ball in her mouth. Okay, let's do it. Yay!
Addendum. If you've noticed that my dog still has balls, it's because he can't get neutered until his ear infection clears up.
And Betty is obviously spayed.
Yeah, so
Betty, yeah, and also they've had all their shots.
they've had all their shots, yeah.
He's being neutered soon.
He's being neutered soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
We
guys.
release every Friday. Check us out next Friday at noon for another cool video.
Betty, come here! Betty's funny because, like, she'll be doing nothing, and then, like, you'll say her name, and she'll activate with just her tail. So I'll go, Betty! Betty, Betty, Betty! Oh, there she, okay. Well,
Like,
thanks
all right.
for,
Well, she didn't really come to you. She was just like, I'll look at you.
now they're calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, all right, bye!
Bye, thanks, guys!